Today we're going to do a whole set of new exercises, maybe a little bit of a progression for some, but for others it might just be working the muscles in a slightly different manner. We're going to try and cover all the major muscles again, the glute medius, the glute max, hamstrings, quads and the calf muscles. So let's change it up a little bit today. Going to do it in a way that you can follow the exercises again. So enjoy. Okay, first exercise is a seated squat hold. You want to try and make sure that your knees don't actually go over your big toes during this minute. You can push down with your big toes a little bit just to create a bit more stability. The place that you should be feeling it is here in your quadriceps muscles. And by about 35 seconds, it really should start burning quite a bit already. You can either push through the toes or the heels. You can adjust it a little bit as you go along. And then we try and hold that for a minute. Your bum is basically against the wall. Your shoulder blades are also against the wall. Try and pull your tummy tight at the same time and maintain that position for a full minute. And we've got 10 seconds to go on this one. And we're going to do 2 rounds, but I'm going to swap the exercises up a little bit. 3, 2, 1. Okay, the next one is a version of what we call the Nordic hamstring exercise. You're going to kneel, take a small weight and hold the weight out in front of you. I actually like to do repetitions and try and get it out as far as I can, maintaining that nicely contracted hamstring the whole time. Keep your back nice and straight as you're doing this. If you struggle with a weight, you really can leave it and just place your arms forward and try and lean a little bit forward so that you can feel those hamstrings kicking in, preventing you from falling over forward the whole time. Your glutes will also kick in a little bit. Your feet are going to try and grip the ground. It's what we call a static or an isometric exercise. It's supposed to be one of the most well-researched exercises for preventing injuries in the hamstring. I'm doing a slightly different version because actual Nordics are pretty darn tough. And let's go back to the wall. So this time we're going to do a version of seated calf raises. Push through the big toes and you're going to lift. Now we're using muscles called the soleus muscle. Your calf complex is made up of 2 different muscles called the gastrocs and the soleus. Both of them are really important. A lot of people forget to work the soleus muscles. As you can see, my left one is quite weak and I shake as I go down. Your quads are also going to work with this. But yeah, this is a nice way of getting those soleus muscles also working, because we tend to always just work the gastrocs if we've got our legs straight. And this is a properly tough exercise because your quads are going to burn nicely here. If you wanted to, you could put a little bit of weight onto your knees. It's a little bit tougher. You could literally sit on a chair and just do calf raises. You don't have to do this seated against the wall squat plus the calf raises. Okay, I'm going to do the Nordic in between again. Just going with a slightly heavier weight just so that you guys can see. So you can either hold it there for the whole time, or as I said, I like to repeat that movement. Yes, your shoulders are also going to work and your neck muscles are also going to work. So this is a really good hamstring exercise. Going backwards and forwards and maintaining that nice hamstring contraction the whole time throughout the movement and not falling over. So the usual Nordic, how that works is you lean forward until you can't and then you catch yourself. A lot of sportsmen can actually lower themselves down all the way and come back up again. As you can see, mine aren't that strong, so you lean into it, and when you can't anymore, you fall forward and catch yourself. Okay, we're going to do one more round of this guy. Wall squat. And you're just going to hold it there for me. What you could do in this position is you could take a little weight whilst you're holding onto that squat, and you could do some shoulder exercises. Nothing wrong with getting a combination going. Then you get a nice amount of work. You could do just your plain old biceps curls while you're doing this. I like overhead presses. They work really well for me. You could even do what you were doing for the hamstring earlier and push forward and backwards like this. Yeah. Ooh, these quads are burning, man. They really are burning. Okay, and then when we're done with this, we're going to move on to glutes exercises. Okay. Oh dear, I messed up my maths. You still need to do 1 more minute of the seated calf raises, but that's okay. You can do it right at the end because I know that your quads are burning right now. Let's move on to the glutes. We're going to do a step up for the glute max. Push through that heel as you're raising. We're just going to stick with one side for 1 minute, and then we'll do the other side for another minute. Just drive through that heel, get that glute really firing. Your quad's also going to fire at the same time. You want to do it nice and slow to reap the benefits. In particular, as you're going back down, people tend to just sort of drop, and that can cause injuries, plus it's not really good control. The other thing that you need to think about when you're doing this is that you could go up on a slightly higher step, then you're really going to work a lot harder, or if it's too hard for you, a smaller step. Yeah, make sure that you're also pushing your toes down as you're doing this. As you can see, I'm starting to tire out on this right leg, and we're going to do one more. And we're going to swap sides and end up doing the left side. Your heart rate's also going to go up nicely with this. Like I said, you can use a chair. It doesn't have to be this. It could be a coffee table. Just something that's nice and stable. If you want to add a little bit of difficulty onto it, you could put something slightly wobbly like a cushion on top. Then your ankle also has to work. You know, that really works well for people that like doing trail running. Don't forget to drive through the heel. And as you can see, my left side is my weak side, so I need to slowly drop down, not just drop down. That's really not going to benefit me. And also the landing on the other leg works the calf and the foot muscle, which is great if you do it nice and slowly. Whew. And if you can imagine doing 2 rounds of this, you're really going to work hard. Last one. Okay. We're now going to move on to side planks. And hopefully you can see me clearly enough. 1 foot in front of the other. Hips bent. Lift. And hold. Try and hold it for about 10 seconds. And then drop down, bending from the hips. And lifting up again and bending from the hips. You can either hold for 10 seconds and come down, or you can slowly move up and down. Please do not do the banana. Please do not just move up and down like this. Look at the difference. My hips are bent. I'm lifting up and straightening, bending and sitting down, lifting up and straightening. The other way, if that's too hard for you, is you can go on your knees bent, knees in line with the elbows, lift up and down, up and down. Still not doing the sideways banana bend, bending from the hips and coming up. Okay, let's do the other side. Up and bend, and up and bend, up and bend. I like to mix it up, hold it for a little bit, hold it there for 10 seconds. It's really demanding if you hold it for a while because it's a side plank at the end of the day. Come down and up, hold it there for 10 seconds. A lot harder to hold it. Would also be harder if you put your hands up in the air. Some people prefer to do their side plank with their feet on top of each other. That's also a lot harder because it's a smaller surface area. You're a lot more balanced when it's a bigger surface area. Just going to show you the bent one again. Knees bent at 90 degrees. Elbows basically in line with the knees. And straighten and down. Straighten, hold it there and down. Please make sure that you don't go sideways. Rightio. And that's it. Well done. You got through that very easily. Do it twice and you've got a nice exercise routine. And this is one of those that you could actually do a minute wherever you want to during your day. You don't have to do them all consecutively. If you don't have the time, the best way to do it actually is a minute here, a minute there throughout your day. And then you are going to get a workout. Good luck.